Now, these are strange, weird times that we're living in. Do you feel the same? Let me know in the comments below. I would say it's been in the last 10 years. I mean, there's always been shady things going on. There's always been interests, sometimes more nefarious than others. There's always been agendas. There's always been interests that maybe benefited from the misery, war, and destruction caused around the world. Now, we've reached a point, I think this is, maybe it was pandemic times, maybe it was a little bit before that, but in my opinion, maybe in the last 10 years, we've seen a shift of things that many people in the elite fantasize about, but never quite dare do. Yes, I'm talking specifically about that thing that happened to us for a couple of years, and we saw many governments show their more authoritarian side in a very violent manner, in a very anti-liberty manner. In different parts of the world, we saw how that went down. Some places worse than others. But everyone was surprised that this was happening. Sometimes people couldn't even believe the times we were living in. And then when we learned about the pharmaceuticals, how they constantly lied to us, even till this day, how there's a man that should be in prison for the crimes he committed against humanity, and he's still walking around as a free man, no problem whatsoever. There's been always wars and there's always been interest, but now we are living in a time where, yes, you are gonna be okay with destroying and bombing thousands of innocent men, women, and children, and we don't plan to stop. We plan to continue bombing more hospitals, schools, women, children, men, innocent people, simply because that's what we want to do. And screw anyone that thinks different. Probably you don't think different. Probably you agree with what we're doing, no matter if you're on the left or on the right. This is a uniparty issue, guys, here. No one protests about this. It's all fine. It's all good. Blow up as many hospitals, schools, kids as you want, because we are post-COVID humanity. Here, we don't give a fuck about what we're doing, and even though we have seen wars in the Middle East, and yes, hundreds of thousands of innocent people have been destroyed because of economic interest, because of oil, because of war, right? But this time, we won't even pretend to be doing anything different. Why are you bombing that? It just has to go. Those people, they just need to be blown up. You're bombing what country now? Why is it specifically that you're starting World War III? Oh, Fernando, you don't understand. We just need one more war. Just a good old classic style of shit show so as to keep those contracts going. That's what we need. But at the same time, this is about desensitizing people to the idea of slaughter, the idea of life being valuable. That's been lost. It's not just about Gaza, Israel. No. This is something that affects us all, no matter where you are, because it's the same ideology that says it's okay to not have kids. Kids, who wants to have a kid? Kids are expensive. They're a problem. Who wants to get married, start a family? What, you're pregnant? Well, just get rid of it. It's just a human life. I mean, it's not just any human life. It's your own flesh. It's your own son. But if it's inconvenient, just go and kill it. Get rid of it. Actually, we will pay for that with your money. Your money will pay for the destruction of that kid inside that woman that does not want to have a kid right now. It will pay for the bombs that are dropped in a number of places around the world so as to continue the profit machine of the elite. But as you see, it's all about installing the same narrative. The idea of life not being important. The idea of family not being important. The idea of you're not valuable as a human being. You're not valuable. None of us is valuable. I mean, yes, some are a little bit more. This is like Animal Farm, you know. Some people, we're all equal, but some are a little bit more equal than others. And I think that Elon Musk and Joe Rogan in this little piece here, just a few seconds, they touch on something that is crucial for us all to understand. Let's take a listen.
I mean, I don't want to be melodramatic, but it's almost like a death cult.
It's a death cult. No, that is exactly right. It's essentially the extinctionists. Like, it's in the limit. It is that they're propagating the extinction of humanity and civilization. And there's some people who are like most of the time it's implicit. They don't but sometimes it's explicit. Like there was a guy on the front page of the New York Times who literally has the thing called the Extinctionist movement, and he was quoted on the front page of the New York Times as saying, "There are 8 billion people in the world, but it would be better if there were none." And I'm like, well, buddy, you can start with yourself.
Yeah. Does he have friends? That's what always fascinates me.
Does he have friends? I don't know. Honestly,
I don't want.
But he's talking about this. This is the voluntary human extinction movement, and it's being pioneered by this old lunatic right here. I mean, I mean, there's evil people, there's bad people, there's people that commit horrible crimes, there's people that commit mass murder, there's people that commit genocides, which is something we're seeing right now. But then there's a special kind of individual that just wants to end it all, and that's where our friend the Extinctionists show up. Now, if this man was really honest about his idea of human extinction, as Elon Musk so accurately explained, start with yourself, buddy. You should be the first one to go. I mean, you're old as fuck. Who gives a damn? I mean, you're actually a great candidate for that. End it for once and all. Stop using resources. These are environmentalists. Did you see how it's all like that? It's like this. It's all so interconnected. You're told to not have kids because of overpopulation. These guys are just open about let's end it all. Let's go for human extinction so as to save the environment. We are a plague in this beautiful, orb of lights in the universe. We need to get rid of humanity, right? Now, there's obviously the kind of interest that Elon Musk is not mentioning here, which is the people that use these psychopaths for their own interest, because it is just one step behind to say, oh, there's overpopulation. And Mr. Bill Puertas, which that's the Spanish for doors or Spanish for gates, because you cannot even say the two together unless you get banned by YouTube. Our good old friend Bill from that big old software company and the United Nations, they're all very much aligned with the idea that we have too many people. We have to do something about overpopulation. Do you see how this is all interconnected? You're being told that there's just too many people. I mean, at some point, good old Bill was caught on video saying that we just need to cut population in half. Half the amount of people would be great. How the hell do you plan on getting rid of half of humanity? Well, doing the things they do, right? It's no mystery. But at the same time, it's about a number of agendas. Make life worth nothing. At a larger scale, at a smaller scale, even at an individual scale. Don't have kids. Don't have children. Don't get married. Don't start a family. That's the worst thing you could possibly do. Do you have any idea what courts do to you when you get divorced? Which is very much true. They destroy your life. But it's all geared towards the same thing. No families, no kids. If you got pregnant, just end it. Get rid of it. You don't want to have a kid that is expensive and just gets in the way of you enjoying your own life, your very best thing, right? Don't have any kind of social connection. Kids these days, people are alone. When I did that video about women dating and men sing, half of the people in this planet are single. They're alone. They don't have anyone else. It's becoming more and more common these days. Even younger generations don't find a way to interconnect. Younger generations don't even want to be with one another because 20 to 25% of the newer generations are LGBT. They do not know how to connect with the opposite sex. Yes, there's only two. You're either a man or a woman. Anything else is bullshit and it's cultural Marxist propaganda. But it's all the same thing. It's a death cult. It's more, I would say, an elitist anti-humanity cult where they want the world to be just people like them, the nice people, the clean, maybe a certain type of skin color they favor more than others. They'll never say that. They will actually finance and promote the idea of racism and hate and division in places where none actually exists until they start promoting that. But it's all kind of like the same thing. They want to destroy humanity. They want to make sure they get rid as many of us as possible. Voluntarily, that's going to be even better. Voluntarily going into extinction. Voluntarily extinguishing the life of your own children through abortion. Yes. I mean, even better, don't even have them. Why would you want to have them? And the idea of the patriarchy, the horrible men in this world. Hate men. Don't even get close to one. Don't even marry one. Don't have kids. No. It's all the same. Hate towards men, it's the same thing. The patriarchy. The greatest bullshit lie ever told. The idea that men control everything. Really, honey? You think that men control everything? Well, tell that to the thousands, no, millions of men that have died throughout history so as to protect their communities. Millions and millions. Until this day, in places like Ukraine, women, children, they get to leave. Men have to stay and die fighting the Russians so as to protect the country. That's the way it's always been. Hasn't changed one bit. Why? Because the patriarchy? No, because women are more valuable than men. That's why men are expendable. You throw men at war. You throw men at shitty jobs, dangerous jobs that no one wants to do. Because men can carry children, women can actually have children. And that's what's always been most valuable for us as a species, the ability to reproduce. That's why women have always been cherished and protected, men sacrificed so as to keep the species going. But all of that is slowly being changed. The idea of life being sacred, valuable, important, no, it's not yours, not anyone's. Life means nothing. Kill as many as you want. Kill your own. That's what you should be doing so as to be strong and empowered. And yeah, maybe one day our crazy friend here, the Extinction, will get away. Folks, we're living in a fucking insane world in case you haven't noticed, and I recommend that you prepare as well as you can, and for that you have the channel, and I strongly recommend you get street survival skills and surviving the economic collapse, because this is not getting better anytime soon, rather the opposite. See you next time. Take care.